Mickey Meehan for UCCS Athletics. I'm here with head women's basketball coach Lynn Plett. Now, coach, first off, it was Thanksgiving last week. How was your Thanksgiving?
Somewhat short, like usual, after doing it as many years as I have been doing this coaching profession. I don't get very many Thanksgivings with family anymore. So on the day of Thanksgiving, at least we got together with the family that we could get together with. So it was all right. It was okay.
Speaking of short Thanksgiving, you guys were back on it in action on the weekend, and you were on the road. You played in the University of Nebraska Kearney Loper Classic. On Saturday, you played Fort Hays State. They're ranked number 11. You've walked away with a loss, 52-90. Comments on the game?
Fort Hays is a very talented team, probably one of the more talented teams that we'll face all year long. So, combined with them in West Texas, we had two really good teams that we tried to compete with in the preseason. But I think hopefully that's going to be good for us because we're really a young team. So I'm trying to impress on the fact, okay, that's the level we need to eventually get to. So I think from that standpoint, that's kind of the rationale for playing teams like that too. So in the long run, I hope it's beneficial, even though immediately we didn't play very well against those teams. Against Hayes, we played actually fairly well in the first quarter. And what has happened in almost all of our games so far, we have one quarter where we just kind of can't score. And that was kind of the case with Hayes in the second quarter. That's kind of been one of our problems that we deal with. Largely, turnovers had a big deal with it because at halftime we were down 19 points. We had given up, I think, 13 turnovers or 14 turnovers, and 19 points were scored by the opponents on those turnovers. So that was the huge difference in the ball game from that standpoint. But they're a very good team, very talented team, very experienced team. I have a lot of seniors and juniors on their team who have played at a really high level. So I think they're one of those teams that could really make a run, a deep run in the playoffs at the end of the season.
Definitely sounds like you guys walked away with some lessons to learn early on in the season. Transitioning on to Sunday, you played Nebraska Kearney, the host. You lost 45-61. Looks like another slow start for you guys. In the end of the first quarter, you were down 18-8. End of the first half, 33-19. Again, comments on the game.
They hit some huge shots early, as opposed to the previous night where they didn't shoot the ball very well. Evidently, they were saving those shots for against us because they ended up 10 of 20 from the three-point line, and we actually got off to I think actually a decent start for us offensively, but they countered. They made their first three-point shots at the ball game, and there's 3, 6, 9 points against our 7 or 8 that we had scored at that time, which was still were there. But again, we started turning the ball over a little bit and giving them more opportunities to score. And then we did again, kind of had a second quarter that wasn't the best. Again, third quarter we actually cut it to 5 points, and then they hit a couple of big threes again, and then we cut it back in the fourth quarter to 7 at one point again, but we just couldn't get over that hump and get any closer than that. So all in all. Energy-wise, defensively, we had a lot of, I think, good energy. The biggest difference is that we're not being able to take that on the other side of the court and score. Had a lot of open opportunities, and we're just not making shots very well.
With this season, you've brought in transfer student Jay Farron. She's a graduate student, so she's fifth-year senior. Talk about what she's meant to your team in terms of offensively. She's led the charge, really, and being your leading scorer most nights.
Yeah, Jay has been a great addition to our program. She, for someone who has only 1 year of eligibility left, has had a good experience at Westmont College. They were very successful in their program. She's has, as you said, has been our leading scorer on offense and has really shot the ball pretty well. Occasionally gets in a little too deep under the basket, like some of our other players do too. But all in all, she's been a very positive addition to our program, not just as a player, but even as a representative of UCCS and also a teammate. She's been a really good teammate from the players. Her disadvantage is the fact that she's basically a freshman with 4 years of experience at college level, so it's a whole different system. And so we're trying to work together with, okay, there's certain things that we need to adjust, but there's a lot of things we'll just leave alone because she's developed certain things that you're not going to change. And so, but they've all been positive. And so she's been a great addition from the standpoint of being willing to learn new things, fits into our system really well. and has been, I think, just an added benefit to us, especially around the basket that we didn't have in the previous year. So, and I think she's a pretty good mentor for our two freshman post players that we have too. So that's been a really benefit for us to have her.
Definitely helps to have that leadership there, especially with some young players that you brought in. Now you're open up at home this weekend, Saturday, December 1st. You're playing Colorado School of Mines. What is your expectations for your team to open up the season?
Well, hopefully we can relax a little bit and maybe get our shooting back on track. That with the potential that I think we have to shoot the ball. I think that's the biggest key. How to do that is a mystery at this point. So, but the good thing about it is it's a new season in a sense. So the previous 4 games that we played really don't count anymore. They were hopefully, in a sense, almost like exhibition games for us. We have to learn from those, obviously, but now it's a kind of a fresh start. And Mines is a very good team. They've got some experienced players on their team mixed with some young players that are very talented. They're always a tough team to play. Very intelligent on the court and off the court. And so it's going to be a game where we're going to have to play with a lot of intensity. It's a nice thing that we get to play at home because we haven't been at home except for one game so far too. So hopefully that'll help us relax a little bit and shoot the ball a little bit better. But it's one of those games where we didn't play very well against them last year in either contest. So we're trying to make up for that and trying to remember that, but yet in a positive way to kind of motivate us to play well against them in the first opener for the conference play.
It definitely sounds like it's a great place to get your game back on track for your team. Also helps to have some motivation going in after last season. Coach, I want to thank you for joining us. Fans, be sure to catch them in action Saturday, December 1st at Gallagher Events Center at 5:30. Thanks for joining us, and go Mountain Lions.